Our mission at Nirvgen, and this is based on the science of Jerry Silver that worked for 30 or 40 years, let's just say an entire career, on why do neurons in the central nervous system not regenerate, and then how do we drug it so that we can improve individuals' lives. This is a picture of Harold Punnet's daughter-in-law. Harold Punnett unfortunately was unable to be here today because he has a slight cough and couldn't make the flight. But we're here this morning from Nirvgen because of Harold's daughter. And Harold wanted to find a way, how do I improve my daughter-in-law's life? And Harold identified Jerry Silver, and he licensed the drug, and that's why we're here today. Our mission at Nirvgen is to transform the lives of individuals with spinal cord injury. As I said, we're a very mission-driven company. We're a phase 3 company now. We're getting ready to start a phase 3 study this summer, and our goal is to transform the lives. You all know the significant unmet need. I was discussing with someone about 3 or 4 months ago that this is an underserved population, and I was told that I was completely wrong. This is an unserved population of individuals, and there are about 300,000 individuals on an total in the United States. There's no approved therapeutic treatments, and we at Nirvgen intend to be that first treatment across the finish line. And when I say, Matthew, that this conference is going to be different in 2 to 3 years when we're through the FDA, we will be seeing an influx of money into this area, an influx of investment in new treatments, and I think Nirvgen getting across the FDA finish line when we do that is going to change the vision and how people view looking at spinal cord injury and neurotrauma. Our drug NVG-291 targets chondroitin sulfate proteoglycans. It's a daily injection subcutaneously. We typically give it in the abdomen. It's given daily for 12 weeks. It works at the PTP sigma receptor. It has been tested in Chicago by Dr. Perez here at her lab. And we have 20 individuals that went through a clinical trial that we will discuss that study. We have been engaging with the Food and Drug Administration. We had a Type C meeting in September of 2025. We are very aligned with the FDA going forward. And we have an end of phase 2 meeting in early 2026 this quarter. As you can imagine, this quarter is coming to a quick end here. When we met with FDA, they confirmed that there are multiple regulatory routes available to support approval for NVG-291. This is the Connect SCI study that was run by Dr. Perez. There were 10 individuals that received a placebo and 10 individuals that received daily subcutaneous injection of NVG-291. There was also a daily exercise that was from baseline through week 16. The end of the study was at week 12, not the complete end, but the end of drug was at week 12, and at week 16 was the end of study. So from week 12 to week 16, there was no drug that was given, and individuals were followed with exercise and continued to be monitored at that time. The primary endpoint of this study was motor evoked potentials. And if you put yourself into the room in 2022 when Nirvgen was speaking with KOLs and deciding on the direction, we really did not know what we were going to get from this drug. We saw that it worked in a Petri dish, and we saw that Jerry Silver in his lab, he could regrow neurons. We saw that it then worked in a rat or rodent model, that individual rodents that were given a physical spinal cord injury, roughly 50% of them could regain functional walking. And we wanted to see and we wanted to know how that was going to work in individuals with motor incomplete cervical spinal cord injury with 12 weeks of treatment. I'm not going to go into the motor evoked potentials, which was our primary endpoint, but suffice to say, we hit the primary endpoint in the upper extremity. That showed that we had increased conductivity of electrical impulses from the scalp to the first dorsal interosseous, which is the muscle here between the thumb and the forefinger. Going forward and in discussions with the Food and Drug Administration, they want to see functional outcome. And by functional outcome, we're going to discuss quantitative prehension, which is really glass, pouring water into a glass from a cup, putting a key in a keyhole and turning it, nut on a bolt, and then putting pegs in a peg holder. This has been recognized by the FDA. The GRASP quantitative prehension through the ARC-X's was discussed earlier. Here are the results that NervGen saw. On the slide on the left is GRASP total score, and on the far right is going to be GRASP quantitative prehension. And I have it at week 12 and week 16. In both total score and quantitative prehension, what you see compared to placebo is really an improvement compared to placebo. So individuals with the GRASP test showed for a total GRASP score about a doubling, and really in the GRASP quantitative prehension, there's about an 800% improvement. This was not set up for statistical significance. This is for trend only, and you can compare it to placebo. There is a dashed line that you will see as well, and that's the MID, which is the minimally important difference, and this is a calculated amount. And what the minimally important difference is, these are day-to-day activities that for an individual is something that's important. Using a fork, being able to comb your hair, something on a day-to-day, which is what the FDA wants to see. It is important that we're showing electrical conductivity, but what they want to see is how does this drug, NVG-291, improve or transform the lives of individuals on a day-to-day basis. And we see it in total score, and we see it in quantitative prehension. We also did an exit interview, a blinded exit interview on almost every individual. There were two, one in the treatment arm and one in the placebo arm that did not finish it. And this exit interview was done on average over 200 days out from the end of the study. These individuals had no idea whether they were treated with drug or they received the control. This is an excerpt from one of the individuals, and I think that really what's fascinating here is as much as you can look at the bar graphs, when you read these exit interviews of the individuals that went through the study, it contextualizes how much this drug, NVG-291, impacted these people on a day-to-day basis and how it changed their lives. For example, in the top left bubble there, this individual said, I can now brush my hair, take care of myself, brush my teeth, and cut my own food. Those are the things that really impact them on a day-to-day basis. We also did other qualitative interviews as well. Bladder function was improved by about 2/3. There was a reduction in spasticity by roughly 58% on these individuals, and patient global improvement of change scale was basically 6 of 8, showed really much or very much improved overall symptoms. When we discussed with FDA back in September, and everything I'm telling you has been out in the public domain, they want to look at quantitative prehension, but they really want to see how does this drug impact an individual's life. And that's what we want in our company as well. As we move forward this summer, and we have a planned phase 3 chronic spinal cord injury trial that we are planning on initiating this summer. It's going to be roughly 150 individuals, one-to-one randomization, 75 to daily treatment of NVG-291, and then 75 will receive a placebo. The intent is that the placebo arm will all get drug in an open label extension. This looks very similar to the Connect SCI study that Monica ran, where they get drug for 12 weeks, and then there's 4 weeks off treatment. We are hoping to see the same durability that we saw at the site in Chicago with Monica as well. The interesting thing that I thought was phenomenal was that we really did not see from week 12 to week 16, we did not see a drop-off in GRASP function in these individuals. And even these individuals, when they were in the exit interviews, continue to notice, and they state that they see a maintaining or even continued stepwise improvement even from the end of the study out to 200 to 300 days, which is really phenomenal. Moving forward here, obviously, we had a Type C meeting in September. We're waiting to speak with FDA moving forward, and we are preparing for a phase 3 clinical trial that will be in North America. We say that it's up to 60 sites. I have no idea how many sites it's going to be. When you do a clinical trial, you always throw out there more to the FDA so you don't have to go back to them. But our mission and our goal here is to get this trial to as many locations so individuals, it's convenient to individuals, so they're not having to travel to one site within the United States. So when I sit here and I listen to this group, I know I've got 2 minutes left, I'm sorry, I just want to say one thing, and I think this is really important. I firmly believe that we are seeing a really dramatic trend in this drug that Jerry created and developed up at Case Western. But it's going to take all of us in this room to get this drug across the finish line. And it's going to take a lot of work on Nirvgen's part, but as we get closer to the FDA, it's going to take a lot of work, and the entire advocacy community is going to have to get behind this drug. Nirvgen needs a win, but more importantly, the spinal community needs a win. I am the CEO of Nirvgen, and I do work for the board, and I work for the company, but I really work for the spinal cord injury community, and I work to bring a treatment that's going to improve your lives. And I'm going to need your help as well. And so I really, and I mean this sincerely, as we move forward, it will be important that all the groups that are out here at the table really come together with FDA and help us push this over. It's not an easy path. We will be and we intend to be the first drug that really brings meaningful improvement to everyone's life here. I want to thank you. I know I'm running over. All right, thank you very much.